Hello and welcome back. So today, I've got a knife I've never thought I would actually see get done or be made. What you're looking at here is a Hinder Slip-joint. That's right, folks. That's a Hinder Slip-joint. So no lock whatsoever, which honestly I would never have thought Rick would ever make, but I guess since Chris Reeve made one, Rick Hinder had to make one too, right? I mean, it only would make sense. Anyways, that's just a quick look at the Rick Hinder Slip-joint. I think it's pretty cool, actually. The resistance reminds me much of a classic slip joint, much like those old 70s, maybe early 90s type of knives. Reminds me a lot of the action, at least, of my first slip joint. And my first knife as it was, because my first knife was a slip joint. So what's cool about this is that you can actually take off this thumb stud here. We'll go over it once I actually do an actual review on this. Oh, there you go. You can see the Allen key hole there to adjust it. So it goes on this track, and you can adjust it along this track or completely take it off. This comes in, let's see. There you are. Oh, CPM 20 CV steel, which is a pretty awesome steel. And let's go over some specs here in just a moment. Alright, so here are some of the specs for the knife. We'll go into further detail and other things. But before I mention the specs, here's a thing that I really like about this knife. How super thin the stock is. That's something that I really, really like. I just wished Rick Hinder would create something of this thinness in stock in his traditional XM18 pattern with the liner lock, or the frame lock, excuse me. That would be awesome. I think that stuff would, those models would fly off the shelves. Something a little thinner like this, a lot more slicier, I think that would fly off the shelves, the virtual shelves anyways. Alright, so let's go and talk about some quick specs here so you know what you're looking at. The overall length is 7.125 inches, about 4.125 inches of closed length. Blade thickness is 3 millimeters. It'll be easier to go with the millimeters in this case. Blade length is 3 inches. Typical obviously XM3 slip joint. And 20 CV is the steel. Well, we've already discussed that. And has a working finish and G10 handles. Weight is 3.6 ounces, and obviously we know it's made in the good old USA. One thing to note that I found interesting here was this. The spacer for the other side of the clip wasn't anodized blue, which I think would have been a nice touch to go along with the blue G10, because now it just if you look at it, it sticks out way too much. So I would have really liked to have seen this anodized blue at the very least, so it wouldn't stand out so prominently in the on the knife as it would be sitting on a table, or you hand it to somebody. Somebody's going to notice that pretty blatantly, and I think it takes away from the knife, the beauty of the knife as it is. But on the presentation side, it looks beautiful, I think. And I again, this action here where it doesn't have stop position like most newer slip joints would have. It has that typical 1970s, 1990s, whatever, that old style of feel for a slip joint. So once I get some more pocket time with this, we'll go over into a full review on that one. But this is sort of like a bit of a preview on a knife that I never thought I would see from Rick Hinder. There I go, mixing my names up again. All right, that's it for today. Until next time, good luck out there.